Okay, so as some of you guys might have noticed, YouTube decided to start promoting my channel last week. And since a lot of you guys are new, I thought today would be a good day to shoot a day in the life video. I was also just too lazy to plan out a video for today. Anyways, my life is pretty simple. Basically, I write a lot of code, which then turns into products that I sell to people on the internet, such as you. I'm gonna try my best to explain what I'm doing while I'm working today, so hopefully this video will be helpful. And I'm gonna warn you beforehand that the product I'm working on right now is not very sexy, so I'm gonna do the best I can to spice things up, but I can't guarantee that this will be an exciting video.
Hi, can I get a venti pumpkin spice latte, please?
Oh, sorry, don't like pumpkin.
So the last few days, I've been working on a developer tool called Ultra, and the plan is that by the end of this video, I'll have a demo up that you guys can try out for yourself at getultra.io if you feel like it. To give you a bit of context about why I'm working on it and what the product is, basically it's something that I've really wanted myself for the last few years, and I've had some free time the last few days, so I decided to test out some of my ideas and see if I could turn it into a new product. If you've watched one of my old videos, I talk about this business I run called 72D Server Hosting. And one of the things that I need to do is manage a lot of computers that are based in data centers around North America and Europe. And I can do this all from my laptop over here. The way that I do this is using some super cool and high-tech thing called the command line. If you've never used the command line before, which is totally possible, even if you're a programmer these days, basically back in the 1970s, the humble beginnings of the computer, there were no fancy graphics and icons that you can click on with your mouse. So then there were a few really smart programmers who created the Unix command line. And what it lets you do is type in some commands which makes your computer do stuff, and then you can see the output, which is also in text. Now, believe it or not, the command line that programmers use in 2019 is basically the same as the one that was invented in the 1970s. And personally, even though I think that there are many things that you can do more efficiently in command line compared to just clicking on icons and stuff, I think that the user experience could be improved by quite a bit. So I decided to spend the last few days testing out a few of my ideas, and hopefully I can turn it into a new product. It is 9:37 a.m. right now, so time to jump on my laptop and I'll show you a little demo of what we're working with. So I've spent a lot of the last 2 days just reading through the code for this open source project called WebSSH2, and I forked it as the starter code for my project. Basically what we have right now is this terminal that runs in your browser. And I chose a browser-based terminal to start my project with because I'm just most familiar with web technology. Now I can use this terminal like any other one, so I can type in a command such as ls, for example. This is a very common command, and it shows me all the folders and files that is in the current directory. Okay, what is the big problem I'm trying to solve? Well, as somebody who has to manage a ton of servers, I'm not going to install a desktop interface onto most of these servers. There's just many reasons why this is not a good idea. I'll have to use commands such as top, for example, top. You can see that the output over here is all this crap. I think even if you're not a programmer, you can appreciate that all this crap is very hard to read. It's the stuff that shows up when you press Control-Shift-Escape on Windows. It's this task manager here, except it's a much uglier and harder to read version. So my idea is to turn crap from commands such as top into slightly better looking stuff. Over here you can see I've formatted some nice EJS templates. If you mouse over the orange labels, I can actually show you the documentation for those terms, because a lot of times I forget what things like, for example, WA means. It actually means the time waiting for I/O completion. You probably don't care. Now you might be asking, okay, but I think your thing looks like crap too. And I agree. I actually have an important point to make here. Usually when you build the minimum viable product, that you get your users to start playing around with. It doesn't really matter how good it looks. You just want it to be functional so that you can get some feedback. But in my case, I actually do have to make it look a little bit better because the whole value proposition of Ultra is that I'm taking hard to read commands and making the output look a little bit prettier. Basically, the goal for a command such as top is to get something that looks like this task manager on Windows, except I don't have the overhead of installing this whole desktop OS. Okay, I know this is a very confusing explanation if you're not a programmer, so I'm just gonna shut up and start working now. The first task I need to do for today is that I need to make sure that the parsing of all this text is more robust, because right now, actually some of these values that show up in my formatted version over here is not correct. So I gotta fix that up first. Let's get to work. So I found out why all this text here kept showing up incorrectly, and the solution actually only took this 11 lines of code. That took me over 1 hour to figure out, but I'm actually pretty proud that I got it done this morning because that was the most important bug that I had to fix before I launched the product. And now I'm going to work on making everything look a little bit prettier and fixing a few minor things here and there. Alright, it is now 2:59 p.m. Let me show you what I put together. This is a very basic landing page that uses a free Bootstrap theme from startbootstrap.com. I love this site, I use it all the time. I use the SBadmin2 theme for this website. At the bottom of the landing page is just a basic email collection form. You can put this together using MailChimp, that's what I did. And then the interesting part is over here. I actually have a fully functioning SSH client, which basically means that I can use this to connect to any server in the world. And the reason is because I just forked an open source repo that already does this. I know that some of you guys might be a little bit concerned about putting in your credentials here. Maybe you think that I'm going to steal your information or something. So I set up a test server using DigitalOcean, and the IP is right over here. So you can just paste that in, and the username and password is just demo. So after you click this, it's going to ask for the username and password. So that is demo and demo. And now we're back to the demo thing that we had a little bit earlier. Oh, there's actually a bug here. Let me fix this up real quick. All right, so fix the bug. Okay. So what we have here is basically the same thing that we started off with, but I have this little blurb in the beginning just so, give users a little bit of context. And if you type in top, I fixed a few of the formatting things at the bottom here. It's still not looking that great, but it's definitely better than it was before. I am planning to fix a few very small things, and then what I'm going to do is put it up on getultra.io, and you can try it out. I'm planning to open source everything because I'm not really worried about monetization right now. I think that in general, system admin tools are stuck in the 80s and 90s. There's just so many opportunities to make money in this sector that I just kind of want to get as many people using this product as possible, and then I'll think about making money later. So everything will be open source and you can do whatever you want with it. I've been working for about 6 hours now, so I'm gonna go for a swim. But first, it just came to my mind that you guys might be thinking that, oh, this could all be fake, right? Like maybe I just planned this out months in advance. This whole day in the life video is just a marketing scheme to promote Ultra. And I can't really prove that I just did this today. Like, you guys can believe what you want, but I know that you guys really like my eyes, and so I think that you can look at the dark eye bags as proof that I was actually programming today and not just eating stuff. I've got a couple hours before I'm meeting my friend for food, so I'm going to answer some messages and plan on my next video. Okay. Alright, so we just got food and I thought I would end the vlog by answering some of your questions from the last video. So my friend is gonna help me filter through some of these questions.
Arpit asks, which university are you in?
I am actually graduated and I went to the University of Toronto.
Mango Madness asks, what's the name? Can we play?
But the name is like all over the video.
I clearly didn't watch the video. There's a porn star comment.
Yeah, I saw that. Maybe if this startup fails, then backup plan.
Clash Tunes asks, by the way, why don't you try promoting your games?
If I'm spending money promoting my games, then I have to make more money back from it, right? I just don't have the ROI.
Stare at me harder, daddy. Dude, I think that's. I think this is your. I think this is your like this is your thing. Like you just stare at the camera.
Do whatever it takes.
Ivan Voinov asks, did the results of your game help you land a job?
Actually, it sort of did. After I graduated, I did 3 interviews at 3 different companies. One was Google, which I failed the tech interview. And then the other 2, I passed the tech interview, and then I did talk about that game. But I probably would have gotten in anyway, so yeah, I don't really know how much it helped.
Hey guys, can I play you a song for some change? It's for my dinner.
Sure.
Cool.
Sorry I didn't get around to answering more questions, but it was getting pretty late. I am going to edit this video for a bit and then go to sleep. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.